At number 7, well, actually number 17 on WJJD's Top Tunes of Chicago, Top 40, baby. Gorgie Grant with The Wayward Wind. It is a standard number 1 for 8 weeks in 1956 off a small record label that she signed on with back in 1955. It was called Era Records. Era Records, it's ERA. Her first hit record off that label, the record was called Suddenly There's a Valley. And then Wayward Wind came out after that. It was a huge hit for Goji Grant. It's written by a couple of guys. One of them, Herm Newman, along with a fellow named Stanley Lebowski. Stanley Lebowski, I believe I pronounced his last name right. It was a Broadway composer. Wrote a bunch of musicals for Broadway and some for Hollywood as well. He wrote this song along with Herb Newman. Tex Ritter covered this song. It went to number 28 here in the States. But in Britain, Tex Ritter's version went to number 8. And also Gorgie Grant's version of The Wayward Wind went to it was top 10 in England as well. Again, you get into the 50s, you get into artists covering the same record, putting their own distinct take on a particular record. So it is with The Wayward Wind by Gorgie Grant. Tex Ritter did it also in 1963. Frank Ifield covered it. It was not a hit here in the States, but it went to number 1 in England. Remember Frank Ifield? He had that song called I Remember You back in 1961. That was a huge hit here in the States. Well, 2 years later, he did The Wayward Wind. His take on it, but it was number 1 in Britain for 3 weeks. The Wayward Wind's been covered by loads of people. I was checking out the list of people who've covered this record on Wikipedia, and I was amazed at the people who covered this record, the diversity. People you wouldn't really expect to do The Wayward Wind. Gene Vincent, the guy who did Bebop that came up earlier in this countdown. Frankie Lane covered it. So did Neil Young. Everly Brothers. Crystal Gale did a version of it. Shirley Bassey, the woman who did Goldfinger, had that hit Goldfinger from the movie in late 64, early 65. Now, I can see Shirley Bassey doing this song. Her voice would be a perfect fit for The Wayward Wind. But here's Goji Grant. Goji Grant, number 17, The Wayward Wind, on WJJD, Chicago's Top 40 Survey, July the 9th, 1956.